You're so funny, human. It all started on a quiet Thursday afternoon in the cluttered corner of a local coffee shop. My coffee had gone cold. My laptop was filled with half-finished work, and I was mid-grumble about the universe's cosmic unfairness. That's when she sat down across from me. She was stunning in the strangest way. Her face was just slightly off, as if someone had drawn a human from memory and forgot the finer details. Her skin had the faintest shimmer, like sunlight playing on water, and her eyes, well, they were large, reflective, and an unsettling shade of turquoise. "Is this seat taken?" she asked, her voice lilting like a song I hadn't heard yet. I blinked. "Oh no. Go ahead." She smiled, a little too wide, and placed a notebook on the table. One of those plain, spiral-bound ones from office supply stores. I pretended not to stare. After all, I'd been in enough awkward situations to know the polite thing to do was nothing at all. Except when she flipped open the notebook, I couldn't help but look. The words inside were written in perfect, looping cursive, but they made no sense. Observation log number 5789, human subjects. I frowned, trying to focus on my work, but curiosity won out. "What are you writing?" I asked. She looked up at me, her expression suddenly gleeful, as though I'd just given her the biggest gift in the world. "Oh, I'm studying humans," she said cheerfully. "Specifically, their behavioral anomalies. You're fascinating creatures." I let out a snort. "Fascinating? Humans? Nah. We're just stumbling around, trying not to spill coffee on ourselves." She gasped. Legitimately gasped. "That?" She pointed at me, nearly knocking over her notebook. "You say such ridiculous things. Stumbling around. That is objectively hilarious. Do you know how funny you are?" I blinked again. I wasn't entirely sure whether I should feel flattered or insulted. I wasn't really trying to be funny. "Exactly," she said, scribbling furiously into her notebook. "You don't even try. And yet, you produce the most nonsensical brilliance. Are you serious?" "Very," she replied, solemnly, though her lips twitched like she was holding back a laugh. I couldn't help but grin. "Well, I guess I'll take the compliment. Thanks, what's your name?" She paused for a beat too long. "You can call me Lyra." "Lyra," I repeated, and she beamed, like hearing her own name pleased her immensely. "Well, Lyra, you might want to get out more if you think I'm funny. Humans are walking comedy shows." "Walking comedy shows," she echoed under her breath, giggling. Then, as if snapping back to focus, she flipped the notebook shut and leaned forward. "Tell me something else, human." "About what?" "Your absurd customs. Your nonsensical habits. Your reasons for doing anything at all. Do you eat just for sustenance? Or because you like it? Do you sleep because you must? Or because you want to dream? Why do you complain about time, but waste it on meaningless tasks? Why?" Hold on, I said, laughing. "Slow down. What's with all the questions?" She tilted her head, a look of pure curiosity on her face. "I want to understand you. I've been traveling for years, across galaxies, through light years of emptiness. But no species I've encountered has made me laugh as much as humans do. You are unpredictable, illogical, hilarious." I stared at her, unsure whether I should take offense or pride. "You think we're funny because we're messy?" "Exactly," she exclaimed. "Every other species follows patterns. Their behavior makes sense. But you humans, you surprise me. You trip over your own feet and laugh about it. You fail, and then try again. You care for each other, even when it's inconvenient." "Well, when you put it that way," I said, scratching the back of my head, "I guess we are a little funny." Lyra leaned back, satisfied, and opened her notebook again. "You're not just funny, human. You are magnificent." I couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. Sitting in a coffee shop, talking to an alien woman who found humans to be walking punchlines. She laughed with me, her voice like wind chimes. It was infectious, and for a moment I forgot how strange the whole thing was. As we laughed, a thought struck me. If I told anyone about this, they'd never believe me. An alien who traveled across galaxies, only to find humor in us? I could already hear the jokes, but as Lyra scribbled down her observations, I realized I didn't care. For once, I felt like maybe the universe wasn't so unfair after all. Maybe in some small way, we humans really were special. "You're so funny, human," she said again, grinning as she snapped her notebook shut. And for the first time in a while, I believed her.